just did my entire shower routine. I did my hair care routine, I did a hair mask, I shaved, I lotioned. Now my hair is just drying in rollers and my perm is setting. So now we're gonna move on to the more technical part of the 2023 That Girl Glow Up. Now I'm gonna do my makeup routine. I've been experimenting with different styles lately, but I can give an in-depth tutorial in a different video. And also right now I feel like it'd be a great time to go over my 2022 mood board and like New Year's resolutions. Also, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation and I use exactly one pump and it's good for my whole face. So in the top left corner, I just have some workout photos. My goal is to go from like 2,500 steps a day to 5,000. Honestly, it was so low because pandemic regulations were still going on in 2021, so I was barely going out anywhere, and that's why that was that goal. Next, there's a few photos to eat healthier, and I think I did accomplish that. Definitely started taking my gut health seriously. I take probiotics and like multivitamins, and I try to really focus on my health from like the inside out. Ooh, and this is a big one right in the center. I have my white coat right there, and that's because I wanted to get into pharmacy school, and I did. That was probably one of the highlights of my 2022. There's also a huge stack of books. I wanted to get into reading again, especially because I was a bookworm my whole childhood. I only stopped reading really when I got into high school because the program was just too rigorous for me. So that's one of the habits that I'm so glad that I developed in 2022. And with reading books, I wanted to start annotating them as well. So I did do that on the regular and also in a video, if you guys have seen my reading for 24 hours video. There's also a few travel photos. There's New York and then like the beach. And I didn't end up going to New York, but I did travel in 2022 quite a bit. And that's obviously all thanks to you guys. As you guys know, I had a girls trip in Korea and then I went to Australia for two of my best friends, and I came home. Then I went to Mexico with my sister, and then I went back to Korea, and then I finished the year off by going to Cuba. So those are my travels of the year. Also, I'm gonna move on to blush, and I got this one for Christmas. It's just the classic Dior blush in pink 001, and it's so good. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it looks so good in person. And then I have the quotes, no matter what, I can and I will. You're gonna get everything you daydream about, work on you for you. And these are all really great quotes that I tried to center my mindset around. And then in the bottom, that's actually a photo of me and Adam. I just want to prioritize my relationship, and I did. We're still together. It'll be 5 years this year, actually. And then the last thing we have is a car right at the top. And that's one of the few things I did not accomplish this year. I did not get my driver's license. Oh, and also that photo of the model. I did not make the course that I wanted to with Skillshare, so I didn't do an official shoot. But yeah, I'm gonna finish my eyes and my lips, and then we can move on to making a 2023 New Year's resolutions. Okay, one glam later, I am all ready. I put on a cute outfit and I just feel my absolute best. So now I'm ready to get into my that girl or healthy girl mindset and start making my 2023 New Year's resolutions. So we're just gonna get into my Notion dashboard. This is a template that I made for the new year. You guys can download it at the link in the description box below. And of course, huge shout out to Notion for sponsoring this portion of the video. This is the one app that I've been using every single day for the last 2 years. It organizes all the different aspects of my life, so whether that's being a student, a research assistant, just my personal life. I have made tons of templates to organize my life, so I highly recommend downloading it if you haven't yet. And right before we get into the new Notion template, I just want to go over the mindset that I have going into these things. I would say 2022 was a really successful year for me, and I think it had to do a lot with the mindset that I had going into the year and the outlook I had on my goals and healthy habits. And the year wasn't just successful in terms of accomplishments, but I mean in self-improvement and mindset as well. So the first step that I would recommend before you guys even get into a Notion template or start setting your goals is to define your why. So you should reflect on the future person that you want to be. Why do you want to be this way? So I generalize and want to be that girl, which is essentially the best version of myself. But what I'm actually thinking is what this specifically means to me. So I think about the different areas in my life that I specifically want to improve, whether that's my relationships or my academics. It looks different for everyone. Another thing is to think about your values. Does it align with your goals? What you consider important in your life? What you want to give a lot of time to? Take your New Year's resolution or the new habits you want to develop and think about the long-term impact it'll have on your life. Just remember that finding and defining your why is an ongoing process, and you may need to reevaluate it as you progress, but just take 10 to 15 minutes to consider your true motivations, and you'll be more likely to achieve your goals and make long-lasting positive changes in your life. First, when you look into my Notion, I just have a little mood board that I made as the wallpaper, just a lot of things that I want to represent my new year. And And of course, I always have my quote of the year at the top. So this year it is, let 2023 be the year of discipline and success. Always strive to outdo yesterday. I've been making a quote of the year for the last 2 or 3 years, I believe. I think making a quote of the year can really encapsulate everything that you want to strive for. So these are the 5 categories that I have to setting my New Year's resolutions. It's personal, wellness, academic, relationships, and financial. And another thing to do is to make SMART goals. I feel like everyone always says this, but SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. These are parameters that you can use to creating your goals. So one of my personal goals that I'm carrying over from last year is reducing my screen time. So I managed to reduce it by 2 to 3 hours from 2022 to 2023, and I want to do that again this year. Next is one of the few goals that I did not achieve in 2022, and that's get my driver's license. I've just been putting it off. I don't want to do the online school because I think it is so tedious and so long, but my learner's permit is literally going to expire this year, so I have to get it done or I'm gonna have to start from the beginning, and that's worse than starting the online school. Next is to read 24 real books, and by real I mean mature books, not so much TikTok recommendations, because that's essentially 50 out of the 60 books that I read last year. Improve my discipline in basically all aspects of my life. And I know this is broad, but I'm going to apply this to all the categories. So the most obvious answer is actually sticking to all these New Year's resolutions. 2 could be doing my self-care routine consistently, going to the gym more consistently, just having discipline in all the areas of my life. Next is daily movement. Last year my goal was to walk 5,000 steps, but last year I worked from home a lot, so I actually didn't achieve the 5,000 daily steps goal. So this year I'm changing the goal to just daily movement, whether that's yoga, going to the gym, or walking to the grocery store. Personal goal is to solo travel at least once. I feel like I can totally do it. I just have to get over my fear of doing something completely on my own, somewhere far away from my family. So next is wellness. Practice gratitude daily. This is something that I started consistently doing last year, which I absolutely love. And my last goal in wellness is to go back to therapy. I traveled so much in the second half of 2022 that I didn't go to therapy as consistently as I would have liked. So I want to start doing that again. For academic, my first goal is get at least a 75% in all courses. This is just a bare minimum for me. Plan week every Sunday. Stay committed to all research projects. And then a sub goal to that is get a publication. Now for relationships, it's to become a better communicator, and this applies to friends, family, and my boyfriend. Be more patient and empathetic, sympathetic. I feel like those are things that I should always strive for. As for my financial goals, they're a little bit more simple because I am still a college student and I do pay tuition every term, and I have a lot of expenses in terms of like rent and textbooks and like groceries and stuff, so it's not as easy to save. Investing more is just a goal that I have if the opportunity arises. Consider big purchases for 1 month. I feel like I can be a bit of an impulsive spender. I'm not really bad. I don't own a million designer bags, but I do want to consider bigger purchases for more time. So these are my New Year's resolutions and the healthy habits I want to develop. The next thing in this Notion template is an every little victory counts calendar. This is something I made in 2022 and I absolutely adore it. I think celebrating yourself is such an important part when it comes to self-improvement and self-love. Celebrating your little victories and all your small successes can really boost your morale and your self-confidence. So I just highly recommend doing this. So this little victories calendar is also in this Notion template, and this is how I decided to improve it from last year. So you still have the title of whatever victory it is that you accomplished, and then you can select the category that it falls under. So when you look at the calendar as a whole, you can see which areas you're thriving in and then which areas you might need a little bit more improvement in. So there's personal, there's wellness, academic, relationships, etc. And there's also just high energy and low energy. So if you're ever in need of inspiration of something to accomplish in a day, you can look and see which one suits you. And lastly, there is a journal prompts page if you prefer keeping a digital diary. That way you can access it on any device and you don't need to carry around a physical journal. And these are the 4 prompts that I have. What areas of your life need focus on the most in 2023? What do you want to do more of this year? What would a success look like for you in 2023? And how can you show up as the best version of yourself this year? I'm gonna do these later in the day in my physical journal because I'm actually gonna rip it out and paste it on my wall, but feel free to answer these at any time. And now I have some advice for actually achieving these goals. So a few examples of finding your why will look different for every New Year's resolutions, but here are a few examples examples. When I say I want to reduce my screen time to 4 hours, it's because I want to spend more time being present with my friends or my family. Or I want to read 24 real books, and maybe this is generic, but I literally want to increase my knowledge in different topics and subjects that I just don't learn in school or that I can't really learn from an article online. My next tip for sticking to your goals is to make them visible. So like I said, if you're not reminding yourself of your goals every single day, you're likely to get distracted or you may forget them altogether. So my favorite way of making my goals visible is through a vision board. And that's what we're gonna do together next. You guys loved my 2021 and 2022 mood boards. These are what they look like on screen. So you can download these wallpapers from my Pinterest. They're completely free. And if you do use them or take inspiration, let me know, because I love seeing everyone's different mood boards each year. Or if you want my 2023 one, wait a little bit longer because we're gonna make it together right now. I put my sheets back on my bed. I'm gonna get comfortable and we're gonna make our mood boards. This can be a bit of a lengthy process. I know last year I spent almost 2 hours on a mood board, and the year before that I spent an hour and a half. But I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to making this wallpaper or mood board because it's going to be my wallpaper for the next 365 days. You're gonna need 2 apps, Pinterest and Fonto and or Canva. I've been using Fonto for the last 3 years, so that's what I prefer to use. But honestly, a lot of people will just make it on Canva because you can make it on your computer and it's a little bit easier to drag and drop. I made my 2 previous mood boards on my phone, but this year I'm just doing it on my iPad because it's a little bit easier. So this is just what my current Pinterest feed is. A bit of Taylor Swift. There's a wallpaper specifically for books. So these are all my main interests, but what you want to keep in mind when picking your photos for your mood board is your goals. So I'm actually going to open my Notion. So you can see my goals are here. I do want to start journaling again. This is another really good book photo. Okay, so now I've gone through Pinterest for like 10-15 minutes, and now I'm gonna open up Fonto and show you guys how I make the wallpapers. So this is what the Fonto app looks like, and you're just going to open it. So you're gonna open up plain images, and then you're just gonna click a white background. You'll probably see dimensions at the top based on whatever device you're on. If you don't know what aspect ratio to have for your wallpaper, if you go with this, it will most likely fit your phone screen. And what you're gonna do is go into the 3 bars in the bottom left, and then you're gonna click add image, and then you can see all the different photos that you just downloaded from Pinterest. One thing to do before you import the photos is to crop them, and this is the annoying part, but you do have to add one by one. Okay, I finally finished making my mood board. I think it's so cute. It is a bit similar to last year's, but it is a little bit different. At the top, you can see that I do have a solo travel photo. I have a photo with a group of friends, drinking more water, skincare, relationship, lots of studying, being in the lab. I do want to create a product or merch for you guys and have like an official shoot that's up in the top corner. I really want to travel to Japan this year, so I do have that photo in the bottom left corner. And then right in the center of the photo, I have someone in their white coat because I am going to have my white coat ceremony this year, and also find out later in the year where my first work term is going to be, and I want it to be in a hospital, so I thought that photo was perfect. And yeah, I think I'm just really happy with it. And if you guys want this 2023 mood board, I'll upload it to my Pinterest and you can download it. I really just want to focus on making small but impactful, sustainable changes in my life. Okay, next part of our glow up is going to be reading a self-improvement book. This is something I've put off quite a few times because I just feel like they're not really for me, but I'm taking developing my discipline super seriously, which means getting out of my comfort zone and really finding what works. So I've never tried a time management book, and this one was recommended by a few of my friends, and then also it has a lot of good ratings. This is 4,000 Weeks Time Management for Mortals by Oliver Burkeman. So I think I'm going to read for about an hour. We'll annotate and see. Also, I put on the cutest pajamas that I own, so the vibes are so good right now. I have a full water bottle, did my full skincare and night care routine, and now I get to read a book, so let's get into it.